Hey everyone, or should I say, welcome, gentle viewers, to Rangers of the Ton, a Sentai Insensibility actual play, where you take the pomp and circumstance of Regency and throw in Power Rangers, because why not? So, with that, before we get into the game and the intro and meet all of our Rangers, well, Rangers to be, let's go around and do introductions. So everyone will do their name, pronouns, character name, and character pronouns, and where to find them online. We will start with Javante.
Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary finies, and hellions of all walks of life. My name is Javante. Pronouns are he, him. I'm playing D'Alessio Polka. Also, pronouns are he, him. You can find me typically on X at my actual name is at Javante, or on Blue Sky at Javante because I'm not afraid of my name. Where on and also on here on Thursdays where I run D&D games of my own.
Oh yeah, Therius.
Hi, everybody. What's up? My name is Ethereus Bordeaux. I am a baby content creator. I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary this upcoming March. I am known for a couple of roles. I am Phineas Revelborn in the international smash hit Castleton. I play Jean Baptiste or Jean Pierre Baptiste. Oh my God, he'd be so upset that I got his name wrong. In the Quid Award winning Philly by Night. And yeah, I am excited to be here. Tonight, I am going to be breathing life into, like, we're inside the actor studio. I'm going to be breathing life into Prince Caius Lucian Valentine, who is from the nation of Valturia. I'm very excited to be here with you all and cannot wait to tell these stories, to get to know these characters, and to like fuck shit up. I'm excited for the scandal. I'm excited for the tea.
Yeah. Art.
Hello, everyone. I'm normally your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Rider, and Beacon unto all beacons, Arc or Arc-like Court. Pronouns he, him, but tonight I am Prince Consort Orazio D'Argento. And you can find me all over the internet at Arc-like Court.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, Serini.
Hi everyone, I'm Serena Teacup. Some of you guys may know me as Serini or just T. Tonight I will be playing Princess Kirana Chandara of the Kingdom of Jumunia. So I'm so excited.
Good. And of course, I am Paige, aka Pluto Cleric, everywhere on the internet. I will be your queen and mistress of ceremonies for this series. So, with that, before we get into the opening ceremony, we gotta go find out where all of our players are first. So why doesn't everyone roll their die and give me the result, and we'll see who we're gonna start with here.
I got a 9.
I got a 1.
Okay.
Rolling a d4. And I got a 4. Hey.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Cool. So, it was kind of unfair because you have the highest die roll, I guess. But Art, we'll start with you as we cut over. So I'm not just scrolling through my notes to see your information. The Kingdom of Elmaro, a militaristic kingdom. They are the military and the special forces for the rest of the wider kingdom under Queen Regina III. As we zoom in on the kingdom, why don't you give us a little description of what this kingdom looks like and where would we find Orazio?
So on the outer borders of the Kingdom of Ilmarmo, there is sheared and slated quarries of marble with different veins of gemstones, of minerals, and the like. Uh, at the very top of all of these quarried areas, you can see there are 12 to 15 foot tall statues, all depicting each one of the various nations that are in allegiance or in peace with the Kingdom of Ilmarmo, with their varying crowns and crests on each of the shields and different adornments. Pulling in past the quarry, we can see that almost every building, every home, every shop within the kingdom is carved out of fine marble. It's almost very picturesque as far as like stonework and masonry is considered. Fine degrees, sharp angles, even some of the sphered center points where the crossroads meet within have a map of the world that we are in with different gems inside of it, noting kingdoms and places. Moving deeper through, we then come to the actual castle of the D'Argento family, similar to all of the homes, buildings, and shops within, carved as well from pure marble. Small statues of greyhounds, horses, even a handful of like unicorns hidden within the hedge-like maze out in the front courtyard are found before the camera moves through the front doors, through the entryway, and finds at first Princess Melora, the heir to the D'Argento family, looking just outside a bay window before a hand finds itself on her shoulder, and we see Orazio.
What does Orazio look like for us? And I'll describe what your betrothed looks like too, while you're at it.
The most important person in the room, Princess Melora, black hair with almost like subtled gray and silvered highlights between each of the layers, laying just completely down her back, almost like a waterfall. If you were looking through a night sky with lights dancing, showing these thin strands of silvered and gray in it. In her early 20s, probably about 23, 24, wearing a beautiful, like smoke gray dress with a corset done up, small pearls line the whole front of it, collection of howlite, even more to everyone else's eye looks like rough cut marble pieces strung together as like a necklace, but they're very softly rounded edges, just giving that fine detail of craftsmanship. Deep purple eyes, where Orazio, black hair, kind of separated down the middle, hanging just above the shoulders with a slight curl, necklace hanging down with a small bit of howlite and a gold vein through the center of it, wearing a similar, almost smoke gray dress suit with a small bit of white cloth in the front pocket and a pocket watch hanging from within that tucks inside of one of the pockets. For all of our visual members of the audience here, think Dorian Gray from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when he was first introduced.
And as we find the two of you here, kind of catching your breath, as preparations are going around the kingdom to get the royal carriages and everything ready for the somewhat long trip into AngelTon, which is centered in the middle of all the nations, as it should be. She looks very pensive and doesn't really react to the hand on her shoulder at first, before slowly turning to you and just kind of reaching up to grasp your hand. Well, are you ready for your launch on society?
Not in the slightest. But I'm ready to stand next to you.
Yeah, I mean, at least that part won't be too different from what you're used to. You just have to actually talk this time.
Attempts will be made, darling.
It'll be fine. I believe that you can handle it. If you've been around all of us for so long, at all these functions, now you just get to be part of it more.
Kind of preferred standing in the back.
Oh, I prefer you standing next to me.
I understand.
It'll be fine. And before we get ready to head out, I was asked to give you this for my dad, because we haven't got it ready yet until just now. And she reaches beside her and pulls out a little ring box and hands it over to you. You are the prince consort, which means you will be ruling this nation with me one day, so you need an heir ring of your own.
Am I to wear it at this event?
You are to wear it right now.
No question. Just immediately opens it, doesn't
Yeah,
even look down, and takes it
it's
out,
just
puts it
a
right on.
very thick platinum band with a beautiful howlite gem with the family crest like engraved right down the middle of it. And as you put it on, would you mind making a roll for me?
Absolutely. What am I rolling?
You're just rolling your die.
Oh, just rolling it out. Cool. Well, that's great because for my honor on a one.
This would be applicable because of what this specifically I asked you to roll this for. So what is good in this situation for as you put the ring on? As you put the ring on, you at first think it's like maybe static or something, or just like it catching on your finger. But as this ring slides on, you swear you see the gem itself glow for a second, and you feel something tether itself inside you. Are you okay? You went away there for a second.
It's a bit of a tighter fit than I had anticipated.
What's good on
It
you?
might be the heat. Fingers may be swelling.
Perhaps. At this point, there is a knock on the door. Before entering the room is your father, a very tall gentleman, salt and pepper hair, in a general's uniform, as he is now the ruling general of the military here in El Mamaro. Excuse my rudeness, your princesship. I need to talk to my son before we head out, if that's no worries. Of course, I am finished preparing here for myself. Dear, if you just want to send the help to get the last of our stuff down in the carriage when you guys are done talking, and I'll meet you down there.
I'll have it done.
She reaches over and just gives you a slight kiss on the cheek and gives a curtsy to your dad, who returns it in a very deep bow before she heads out the door. As soon as the door's shut, he kind of straightens back up. Well, you know what you have to do today, right?
Not entirely, but I've been informed that I must consort with those there.
You're still tasked with protecting your wife to be, but also you need to present yourself in a way that honors our family name. You are not just a Di Argento, you still are an Armati as well.
Will it always be this way between us?
Yeah, this ceremony goes. Get dressed. Get ready. And he just heads out. And you're just sitting there in silence for a moment. You already have your outfit kind of drawn out. It's kind of like a mix between like what you would expect a prince and a lieutenant to wear.
Yeah.
As both your dad and your dad to be kind of went over your uniform in explicit detail. But yeah, you prepare. You head down and meet everyone in your carriage, and your whole group starts to make their way to AngelTon. So we will move along to another nation. A nation of secrets, of spies, of diplomats, where they know everything else that goes on across the nations, but no one really quite knows what goes on there. Aetherius, as we pan in on the island nation of Faltoria, why don't you describe what this nation looks like to the audience, and where could we find our Prince Caius?
Yeah, so Caius is the pronunciation that I'm gonna go with. So we see the camera on this wide shot of this gorgeous island nation. Valturia is world renowned for its crystal clear waters in particular, and also for how unusually still they seem to run. And there are a lot of things that have been drawn symbolically between the still waters that run deep within the water surrounding the nation, and then within the nation itself, which you kind of touched on as a nation of secrecy, of diplomacy, of quiet storms. And we would see all, as we pan through a marketplace, all of the different colorful and cultural decorations that decorate this bazaar that we go through. We see different shopkeepers selling different things. There are at least 5 or 6 different fish salesmen. Being an island nation, obviously fish is one of their chief exports, and the nation has developed a taste for it. Down past the marketplace, we would find Caius Lucian Valentine, who at present in the fashion and history of his culture is disguised. He is wearing a cloak and is intentionally being really specific about his spatial reasoning. He's doing that Altair from like Assassin's Creed thing, you know, the Assassin's Creed mechanic of like waiting for a crowd to pass. We see him pull down his cloak, and we see a very attractive, I would say 23-ish, 23, 24-year-old black man. So he's got a chocolate complexion and short curly hair that has been shaped, I'm going to say like pulled in a way that is of the style. A lot of the people, I'll say, I'm making this up in real time. The nation of Altaria is known for their luscious curls. And so he's got a real Corbin blue thing, I'll say, popping right now. So he's got that pulled back, and we see it. And the sun is reflecting off of his high cheekbones, and he has these deep honey-colored eyes. And they're calculating as we see him scan the crowd, and then he identifies the person he's been looking for. We see a scraggly-looking older individual. They seem to be masculine presenting. And they too are scanning the crowd, and there's this moment where the two lock eyes, and we would see Caius not react upon having that recognition and realization with this guy, but just turn and leave, and we see him walk down an alley. Shortly thereafter, we see the old decrepit man walking down the alley, and suddenly he drops his limp. And suddenly he doesn't seem as decrepit. And as he comes closer, and as he lets down whatever visage or illusionary magic he was using, we see that this is actually a much younger man. And this is a man, I'm going to say, I know what country he's from. I'm going to say his name is Grant. No, Grant is too basic of a name. We'll say his name is Hallow Thornwood. Is his goddamn name.
Satisfying seeing a player make up an NPC on the spot for once.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you do it? I'm like, his name is Spoon McDesk Mike. But he is from the nation of Olowin. And he has a small parchment. He's got like what seems like some papers, but prominently displayed is a letter that has a wax seal, and the wax seal that we see is for the country of Olowin. He takes this information from this guy. We see him eye the man, eye the contents of the documents. He gives a look that communicates. He seems somewhat satisfied. We see him fold and place the parchments away. He takes a couple of gold coins. He gives it to the man. We see him throw up his cloak. And now we see him walk back to Castle Valturia, which is this beautifully constructed, and it has been constructed so much of the architecture mimics like shells. in a really, really like elegant and elevated way that doesn't make it feel like a themed hotel room or like a Vegas hotel. There's like this luxury to the way that they've incorporated all of this nautical theming into the decorations. And two big grand doors open as he enters and is immediately doted upon by staff who are rushing and reminding him that he is late
Mm-hmm.
for a date with Gary Goop, his betrothed,
Yep.
to whom he's not the most excited about. So we see a dejected Caius go up to his quarters, which are gorgeous and elegantly dressed in the blue, the indigo blue and the gold hues of like the country's banner.
As you get to
Um,
your quarters, actually, waiting for you in your room, sitting on your bed, is your mother. Wow, your boyfriend was here a bit ago.
okay, let's be more selective about the language we use. He's not my boyfriend yet.
Okay, well, he was calling for you. And where were you again?
I um horse lessons. He was calling for me. He was
Yeah.
here
Yeah,
waiting for
he
me.
was here waiting for you for a few hours, actually.
Uh,
Yeah, you had to have one of your brothers send him home, but we're getting ready to prepare to head out to Angelton. We have to leave within the next few hours, so the royal ships are being prepared. Are you ready?
yeah, no, I forgot it. I guess that's just too bad. That's just inconvenient timing that my date with Gary is canceled in the face of our immediate exit and as we
Well,
like head out. So yeah,
don't be too down. I believe Gary and his family are going to be joining us for the trip. I believe they are on one of the other nobility ships right now, getting prepared. I'm sure you'll
we
see
get a
them soon
Hitchcock
enough.
zoom as we see Caius die inside to that information. Oh joy.
Just make sure before we head out, you head up to your grandfather's study. He is here today, so he wants
Nice.
to go over some stuff with you before um, we introduce you to society today.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
I would avoid your dad and brothers if you can for right now.
that's a general rule of thumb that I try
Yeah,
to practice in my life.
they're in a pretty bad mood with, circumstances.
I don't know what they act like I asked for this. They act like this was something that I don't know. I'm gonna go talk to Grandpa, and he gives his mom a hug and a kiss on the cheek. You look really good, by the way. I like the and he gestures to the really intricate dress that she's wearing.
Thank you, dear. You look great as well. You've grown up to be such a handsome young man. And she
Mm.
just gives you a little pat on the cheek and heads out. And you know which way to go. You gotta head up to the top of the castle. His study is not used a lot because your grandfather has his own estate elsewhere at the royal estate on the island. This is like a secondary estate for the rest of the bloodline. And it will be yours until you take over the royal castle when your grandfather passes away. But you can head on up.
There's a pang of panic at both of those realities, both the ascension to leadership and the idea of his grandpa not being there. So he heads up as he gets closer. There's kind of a half smile that comes across Prince Caius's face. He starts to smell the familiar warm smell of sandalwood, which he is like inextricably tied to his grandfather. The two smells, it always reminds him of his grandpa. And he can see the shadow of his grandpa working on something cast in the candlelight as he walks up in it. He smiles because it reminds him of doing this exact same walk from downstairs in his room on up to his grandpa's study since for as long as he can remember. But there's something bittersweet and nostalgic about it during this trip, and he can't exactly place his finger on why. So he knocks on the door to his grandpa's study.
Caius, my boy, you don't have to knock. This is your castle. Come in.
Caius shuffles in. His body language is not very princely right now. He
Mhm.
feels comfortable enough in the presence of his grandpa in particular, to just really kind of, if he had pockets, his hands would be in
Yeah.
them
Your
right now.
grandfather looks up as you enter and sees this and just immediately stands up, puts an arm around you, and leads you over to a couch near the fireplace. I know, it's a lot. Just breathe. It'll be okay.
You really, I don't get me wrong, Granddad. I'm honored, and I know I can do a good job at this, but you really painted a target on my back. Inadvertently so. I don't think you were trying to, but like,
Yeah, I know. I knew your dad wouldn't be happy, your brothers wouldn't be happy, but this is the Valentine family. The most important thing a leader needs, even though we have a reputation as spy masters, is a good heart. I had to choose the best person for the job.
I don't understand how he's upset with me and how this is my fault, where if he hadn't been doing what he did, and if he hadn't been lying to all of us, then we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. This wouldn't be my castle, and I wouldn't have to be dealing with all of this. Also, I could have feasibly gotten out of this betrothal to Gary Goop, who was, I guess, here today. Did he come see you?
He tried to. I was a little too busy to talk to young Gary today. But just remember, a patrol is not set in stone. And you are going to be meeting many young men and women at this next few months in the capital. It'll be great. Just try to enjoy yourself, get used to your role, and I'll be there for you if you need me, okay?
Yeah, he gives his granddad like a big affirmative hug, and he's like, "Oh, Jesus, who
Yeah.
doesn't exist? Jesus is our neighbor who I frequently go to for emotional advice." And so
He's
he says that
he's
exact same.
grandpa's confidant.
Yes,
Okay,
100%.
so now the top advisor for this. Okay, cool.
So he
Noted.
gives him a big hug, takes a deep breath, and we see him walk back to his quarters.
Yeah, and as you enter your quarters, the only thing different from when you left, sitting on your desk is a ring box with the family crest and a note underneath.
There's this moment of white hot terror when Caius sees the ring box but cannot see the family seal yet and just sees the ring box sitting there. And his fucking fight or flight activates for a second and he's paused. And we would see like the camera would be centered on the ring box with the slowly approaching Caius coming into focus in the background. We would see as he sees the family crest, there's like a little bit of relief, but this isn't without its own complications. And we see him slowly open the top of the ring box.
Yeah. So you move the ring box and grab it, and you see the note. It's just a brief note. It says, I had to head ahead of the rest of the family to meet with the queen, but I'm very proud of you. And it's just signed your grandmother. And you open this box to a beautiful blue band with this intricate diamond on top, very cleanly cut with the family crest engraved. You know this to be the heir ring that you saw on your father's hand not too long ago.
I think there's this long moment as we see this like contemplative stare that Caius has at this ring, which is a piece of metal and a rare gemstone, right, on itself, but is so much more than that. It truly is an entire nation. And thinking for a moment, we see Caius pick up the ring and hold it and look at it before taking a deep sigh, putting it back in the case, closing the case, and then putting the case away. Almost, there's something about putting that ring on that will make all of this real. That will make all of this like, the cat will be out of the bag, the toothpaste will be out of the tube. He is allowing himself like a few moments of blissful ignorance before the time comes where there is no option. So he puts the ring away.
And as the camera pans out, we see the royal ships of Valterra being prepared. Your family organizing, your siblings, your parents, your grandparent, your grandfather, all heading out. And as you guys sail up the ocean and then connect to the river, connect into AngelTon, we will shoot over to our next nation. A nation of luxury, of merchants and fine goods, and pretty much anything you need in the wider kingdom comes primarily from here. The kingdom of Jamuna. I'm not going to pronounce any of these names. They're all best right, Bestie.
I'm so sorry in
It's
advance.
fine. But
We'll get there.
as we cut in to the nation, why don't you go ahead and describe what it looks like, and then tell us where we can find Karina.
So, the Kingdom of Jamunia is a vibrant and bustling port city. It is almost overwhelming and overstimulating to anyone who hasn't been there before. As you're going through the maze-like streets and alleyways, you're constantly hearing hawkers talking about, oh, I'm selling vegetables here and I'm selling my textiles over there. It's just constant chatter, and your senses will be overwhelmed. You can smell the spices, and you're just hearing so much. So as you wind through the cities and all the alleyways, you come to almost the gem at the center of the city, and that's where you'll find our palace. And the palace is honestly quite unique in the sense that it's open. People are coming in and out of the courtyard, and not just servants, but people every day. They come, they talk to the royal family because it's a nation of wanting to know everyone, and it's a community. So as you're going up into the towers, you'll start to hear the twinkling of a sitar, the steady drum beats of a tabla, and the jingling of bells. And you see Princess Kirana twirling and twirling to the beat of the music. The bells on her ankles are just jingling away, and she's wearing a long white flowing dress that flares out with every single twirl, and then as she twirls back the other way, it twists and flows almost like water. And she's trying and trying again and again to almost do more and more and make it more elegant, more refined. She stops and starts again and again. So
Perfect. Yeah, and as you're just going through this dance sequence for quite a while, eventually you see enter the room your father. Alone for once, which is not something he typically is ever alone. He usually has bodyguards or your mom or siblings or someone's always with him, but here he is alone. And as he enters the room, you see him make a gesture, and everyone else that's in here starts to also clear out. My beautiful daughter, how are you today? And he just walks over and pulls you into a huge hug.
Kirana smiles and hugs him back tightly. I'm doing well, father. Hopefully it hasn't been too busy in the palace.
Just getting some preparations, loading our caravans with as many goods as we can on the way to the capital. I mean, we're there to socialize. We might as well make some money while we're there as well. This is a big time for us.
That's very true. Is mother doing okay with everything?
I've been trying to avoid your mom for most of the day. She's a little worried and is in full preparation mode, so I would steer clear until we leave.
She shares a knowing smile and nods, and it's just like, noted. I will steer clear of that.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you alone before we headed out. Just make sure you're ready. This is your big debut in society since your brother turned down the title. And I just want to make sure you are ready for what this entails. There will be many suitors. There will be much expectation. But I really just want you to enjoy yourself.
She looks a little bit concerned. She takes a deep breath and puts a forced smile on her face and replies, I have to be ready, of course. It's what I was supposed to do. It's what I'm born to do. So I'll take it all in stride.
What I asked, though, dear. It's just us right now.
You can see her breaking a little bit, and she's like, I really don't feel ready for this. I think I really wish he had, Darun had decided to step up and be a bit of a big brother, but it's okay.
Yeah. After we caught him at the last party with that couple, things have been a little tense around here. He would rather have fun than be part of the family for right now. And we're not going to force any of you into a role, and I'm sad that you have to take this because it falls to you by circumstance, but your friends will be there. I believe most of them are also heading out today. And you'll be able to just enjoy yourself. Don't worry about finding a match at your first official season or worry about the gem of the season or any of that stuff. Just be yourself and have fun. Everything will come together in its own way.
Her shoulders kind of relax a little bit. She's feeling a little bit more calm at that, and she looks up at him and says, Thank you, Father. I appreciate that. I'm feeling a little more at ease.
Now, for this, we had to get it redone because your brother's style is a little bit different than your own. So he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a ring box and hands it to you.
She takes the box almost a little bit confused and a bit wary and looks back up at him and says, Can I open this?
Yeah, go ahead. It is yours now.
She opens the box.
You see a beautiful gold band that almost kind of weaves and lots around the brightest amethyst you've ever seen. With, on top of that, just engraved on top of that in what looks like gold engraved into the gem itself, your family crest. That is the ring that officially recognizes you as princess of the nation. Heir princess, I should say.
She looks down at the ring and looks back up at him. Are you sure that I can wear this? This looks very extravagant.
It's supposed to, my dear. It shows your station to the rest of the kingdom.
She slowly takes it out of the box and slips it onto her finger and kind of admires it for a second, looking around, flipping her hand back and forth. You know what? It's starting to grow on me a little bit.
I'm glad it fits. And just keep in mind what I said. I know once we got these doors, the masks had to go back on, but try to enjoy yourself. I believe you just need to get dressed. I believe your mom was handling everything else. I don't think she's on your side of the castle at the moment, so if you hurry and get dressed now, you can avoid her and get to the carriages.
She nods quickly and says, Thank you so much. And you see her start dashing to her side of the palace, bells jingling away behind her, up to her room.
Yeah, and as you're dashing through the castle halls, can you give me a roll, please?
4.
4. You swear as you're running through the halls, and it's kind of hard to tell. This is a kind of colorful kingdom. You look down at your hand as you're turning a corner, and you see the amethyst almost glow for a second before a warmth fills your chest all of a sudden. Not like an uncomfortable warmth, but definitely strange. And as you look at the gem again, it's back to normal.
She stops in her tracks for a second, tries to see if there's just anything, anyone around, just being like, that just happen? Am I going crazy? Like she's a little bit unsure of herself, kind of wondering if it's not a trick of the light. Just and then just walks a little bit rather than running to her room instead because she's worried she might be going a little delulu.
Perfect. And as you head to your room, we will pan away to our last nation. Javante, as the camera pans over to... I'm not slowing down the notes to see your nation name. The nation of Alawin. A nation of metallurgy and armory and building what is need. We don't head to a capital. We don't head to the kingdom here. We head to a smaller area, a village, where a keep is at the corner of this village, kind of imposing over the rest of it, but here to keep the rest of the town safe. But we don't pan to your character right away, as we pan into the throne room with the Baron and the Baroness and everyone else who is preparing, your siblings, etc. And your dad is just yelling. Where is he? We were supposed to be getting prepared to head out right now. I know that he loves to play with those fucking horses, but if he doesn't get here immediately, we're going to have to leave without him, and that's going to make our nation look bad. I don't even want to deal with the king and queen here, let alone Queen Regina, if our heir shows up separate from our caravan. It's okay, honey. It'll be fine. He knows how important this is. It'll be okay. Jonathan, where's D'Alessio at?
D'Alessio is probably there's a well-worn like circle around the village where D'Alessio has taken to riding his prized horse Grand Wind just around in a patrol. He is probably still in his full armor at this point as well. Mm-hmm. So the full winged mounts on the back, helm, and the full regalia with a the left shoulder has a cape-like design on it that has the family crest in the dark and light green design on the side. And just kind of enjoying this moment of freedom before looking up and realizing like, it's later than I thought it was, and then instantly riding the horse towards the keep.
As you make your way to the keep, you already see most of the caravan has been loaded. It's not huge. It's mostly just your family and some guards going along for the trip. But you guys do know you are supposed to connect to the main caravan with the king and queen of the nation in like an hour along the path and kind of lead them into AngelTon. You see guards running around shouting, like you hear your name a few times, and they seem to be frantically looking for you as you're approaching, until one of the newer guards spots you and is like, sir.
I point right to him, like, you shut up. Go inside, say that I'm waiting at the caravan. Do not say that you just saw me come up.
Can you we're gonna make this a roll, actually. Like an actual roll. So let me bring up the moves real quick.
There's gotta be etiquette. I'm thinking etiquette.
It has to be etiquette. Please.
But what if it's not, though?
But what if it is, though?
But like, what if it should be?
What if that's exactly what this calls for?
That's definitely etiquette, bestie.
Balls. I'll roll.
So you need to roll a 2 or a 3 on your die.
I did it. That's a 5.
He looks horrified as you just kind of yell at this young guy, and he starts to fully cry. Fully sob. I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh my god!
It's my first day, and I just wanted to be helpful.
You're fine. And, you're good.
Your dad's yelling at everybody, and he cussed me out earlier too, and I'm just a failure.
I'm not trying to cuss you out. I'm
doing.
Sorry. You're completely fine. You are okay.
This kid is losing it. He is like 16 years old. He's just old enough to join as like a squire knight. and he's
I'm,
been
like,
yelled at all day today.
pulling myself off the horse, finally get all the way off and just pull the helmet off. Which at this point you can see what the Alessio looks like. He has a military style, very short haircut. Is not buzzed because time frame that we are in, but looks as if it was very like straight razored to the point that it looks like a buzz cut. Kind of tan-ish skin, not pale, but also not very dark. Mostly because he's been out in the sun most of the time. Kind of light grayish blue eyes. And as he just kind of comes up, just holding his hands up, you're fine. You did nothing wrong. I want to avoid my dad too. All right? You're completely okay. Everything is fine. Tell you what, can you help get Grand Wind over to the front of the caravan? I'll deal with my dad. All right?
Yeah, I can do that, sir. Thank you.
Don't start with the sir nonsense. And he just like pats him on the back.
Okay, whatever you say, sir. And he just grabs the horse right and leads it over to the caravan.
Okay. Just straighten myself out, kind of adjust the armor a little, and like as soon as every confidence is in, gets to the door and just loses that confidence and just pushes it open with one arm.
Yeah, and this being a keep, there's the throne room's just kind of right when you come inside. It's not a huge place, and you see your siblings off to the side of your mom talking in hushed tones, and you see guards running back and forth. And as the door opens, you just see your dad at the throne like this. You can see from the distance you're at that his face is already kind of red, and you see a vein just throbbing in his forehead as he looks up at you. Would everyone give us the room, please? The guards, like, as fast as is proper, leave the room, and your mom just, like, gives you a worried look and mouths love you to you, and then ushers your younger siblings out of the room.
Just gives a thumbs up.
Alessio, do you mind telling me where the hell you've been for the last few hours?
Patrolling around the village.
You are not supposed to be patrolling today. We have stuff to do. You are the heir to this family, not a knight.
I understand that. However, I was choosing to take the opportunity to center myself.
We have guards for that. This village is not that big. This season is important. We need you to bring more recognition to this family. And you would rather be outside playing an armor?
Just like slowly look around the keep. Correct me if I'm wrong, Father. Recognition for what exactly?
Our family name
Means nothing. The Polka family name is associated with metallurgists, armor, and the weapons that we have crafted in order to make the D'Argento family proud. Our name is attached and associated to a different name.
Why it is important to make a good impression on the queen, to bring our prestige up, and not rely on that bastard family across the sea.
If we wanted to make a good impression on the queen, then we might as well have just given her a treasure chest full of the armor pieces that we've still yet to design. Now, if you want to make a good impression on, I don't know, I'm going to assume the good impression you're trying to make is on people associated with the queen, then that makes sense as why you want me to parade around in a suit that I don't like.
I want you to do your duty to your family. Find a nice girl or boy at this event, marry up if you can, and present yourself more than you usually do.
Understood.
Now go get ready. Your mom's already laid your clothes out, and your ring is in there as well, and put it on for once, please.
Do I have to wear it on my fingers, or can I just wear it around my neck?
You need to wear it on your hand.
Can I at least ride Grand Wind?
Right ring finger, because you're the heir. Go put it on. You can ride Grand Wind until we connect to the main caravan, and then you'll be joining me in the main carriage with the king and queen. Now go get ready.
Got you. Kind of is going to get as far up to the steps to where he is no longer in sight, and then is going to start stomping his way up.
Just echoes across the keep, and the last thing you hear is just a deep sigh before more orders are being shouted out across the keep from your dad. And you enter your room to not just see the stuff he mentioned on the bed, the clothes, the ring. You also see, let's see, you also see your younger brother Lionel. Ooh, Dad was mad at you.
So what else is new? Why are you in here?
Because I thought it'd be funny to see your reaction afterwards. Why else would I be here?
Is it everything you've ever dreamed of?
It was great, actually. Because I had broke some stuff earlier, but I was able to point out that you were gone, and it worked like a charm, so I appreciate it.
Oh, so you're the reason why I got found out, as I'm just like grabbing some of the stuff and taking the armor off to put that on.
I mean, you're the big old heir. It's not like you're getting too much trouble. You can take some heat for me.
You're right, I can. Also, you're cleaning out the stables when we're back.
So you think.
No, that's what I know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you better get ready soon, because Mom's also kind of mad, but I think our sister's heading that off for you.
Good.
But
so what does Dad have you doing while this is all happening?
I'm to accompany the guards and blacksmiths as the next in line to be head blacksmith of the family. He recites in a very monotone voice.
So what are you actually going to be doing while we're there?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna see if any of my friends are gonna be there that we run into first. We'll see if I can get the princess to run off with me again. So you're going to the main carriage, right? You can distract her parents?
You are asking a lot of me to be a distraction.
I mean, just be yourself. I'm pretty sure that'll work.
You are putting a lot of faith in my ability to talk to people that I don't normally talk to.
You'll be fine. Now put this on. I'm going to go. Love you. And he runs out of the room and he just throws. It's not even the boss. He just throws the bear ring to you.
Love you too, brat.
Just very, very green. A dark emerald band intertwined around a much smaller emerald than the rest of the players here, but a very significant shining peridot gem in the middle. Almost a bright lime green with your family's crest carved not on the gem, but on either side of the band.
I'm going to kind of quickly fit it on. Reach into my desk and pull out probably these series of letters that I have received from pretty much everyone in the group, and just quickly go through like, okay, gossip I need to know, information I should know.
Roll me. Actually, what would that be? Let me see. I'm going to say that's probably just a flat roll. Just roll your dice and let me know what you roll.
That's a 2.
A 2? Okay. So you're going to get some information. Okay. Your last letter you received that mentioned the ball, because you really don't talk about politics a whole ton with Orazio or Caius. Karina, though, on the other hand, sent you a very long, detailed letter of everything that's going to be going on, all the people to avoid, all the people that are like higher rank of you, so you can remember who to bow to and who to address in certain ways. And then just a bunch of like catch-up gossip. Like she tells you some more stuff that Princess Princess Melora has told you about Orazio, giving you more dirt on him. Some more stuff about Caius and their betrothed Gary Goop and some of the drama there. She's just spilling the tea to you in this letter.
Thank you, Kirana. And I'm going to stuff that into my into the suit jacket. Just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a party. What could possibly be the problem with going into a place with a social event where I have to pretend to be a normal person? I'm going
And
to
as you say that, can you roll me one more roll, please?
Oh, no, I cannot. A 1! Yay!
Perfect. Similar to Arc, a 1 is perfect for this specific role because this is definitely an honor. As you put the ring on and you say that last sentence, kind of ominous, kind of like tempted fate, you, without a doubt, see this ring shine, glow a bright, bright green, and feel the warmth seep into your body. And you hear a voice. It's almost time. Let's see what you're made of. And that's where we will take our first break. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, and we will arrive at AngelTon and the opening ceremony. So see you all soon. Hey everyone, and welcome back as we cut over to the capital, the kingdom of AngelTon, the kingdom of all kingdoms in this realm, where Queen Regina III resides over the whole realm. AngelTon is, if you took the most angelic looking regency city you could think of with like castles and towers, and then just threw a shit ton of color everywhere, that's what this place looks like. It looks like a rainbow exploded. There's colors everywhere, mixing across the kingdom. People are already partying as the opening ceremony starts in a few hours with the opening ball, and the common folk are already in the streets selling goods and food and partying and dancing, and music is blaring as all the royal carriages make their way into the main court of the castle, Castle Prism, where Queen Regina resides, and where you guys will all be staying at for the next 2 months for this whole celebration, the 50-year celebration since the last group of Valor Knights vanquished Queen Margaret the Malevolent and then disappeared, never to be seen again. So this ceremony is very special to Queen Regina, as she was just a child when this happened and was one of those kids saved by the Valor Knights. So she wanted to throw a party in their honor. And as everyone kind of arrives, you guys go to your quarters, associated stuff, and they start doing introductions into the ball. So why does everyone roll their die? We're going to see who gets introduced first as we all arrive to this opening ceremony.
4.
1.
1.
1.
7.
7. Okay. You know, it made sense that your family would be before, like, the higher rates, Javante, so that actually kind of tracks.
False.
As you see, I kind of start with your guys' nation as a whole, but before they get to the king and queen of Alwyn, first, from the keep of Alwyn are prestigious metallurgy and blacksmiths of the land, Baron and Baroness Polka. And you see your dad and mom go through the door, and just beautiful, all dark and light green colors mixed throughout their uniforms and dress as they kind of just escort themselves down. And their heir to be Baron D'Alessio Polka. What is D'Alessio wearing as he enters the opening ball? What does he look like?
Although it looks like comfortable, it's well fitted, designed beautifully. A very like kind of a regal royal suit with the inlays of the suit itself are designed to look similar to the royal crest. On the left arm is that kind of embossed pattern. Very similar to how he wears the cape on that arm for his armor. There's a slight wing pattern against the shoulders as well, again mimicking the armor. Strapped to his side is a military-esque blunt saber, which he has tied a small green rope around to signify, like, I'm not drawing it, it's here for show. The ring on his finger. And he, though this all looks very comfortable and well designed, he looks exceedingly uncomfortable in it. And as soon as he's announced, does the fist across the shoulder, slight respectful bow of his head, and then quick as he can to get out of the way.
Yeah, and why don't you go ahead and roll footwork for me?
No.
Oh, shit.
Make me roll dice. 5.
5's a success. So yeah, you actually see a lot of people very impressed. They actually haven't seen much of you because you kind of stay out of the limelight, but it's the first big event since you've taken up the baronship officially. And they all look a lot of press. You see a lot of young men and women kind of giving you glances, especially a lot of the more nobles that don't have reigns. A lot of the lord and ladies' childrens that are all kind of like, you know, they're here to marry and get a title. So they're all praising you as you kind of walk down looking very elegant with the deep bow at the bottom of the stairs.
The exact moment I realize that eyes are on me, I'm finding the nearest place to not be seen. And just,
Yeah, you come up from your bow and you just see everyone's attention on you.
nah, I don't like that.
Okay, we'll move on to the Nuts family. So we move through the king and queen for your nation, and we move on to the kingdom of Jamunia as they announce Raha and Rani of the, I'm gonna butcher this, Chandarna family, royal family, and their heir princess, Karina, as your father and mother each loop an arm with you and walk you through for your debut into society. What is Karina looking like right now? What is she wearing? What's the fit?
So Kirana is wearing at first glance, it looks like a simple white kind of shimmery dress, but upon a bit of a closer look, you can see that the white is kind of just an underlayer, and there's a very delicate lilac and gold lotus flowers in various stages of blooming, just embroidered all over it. And it's kind of cinched in with a purple satin ribbon around her waist. And the embroidery, because it's shiny, kind of catches the candlelight, making the gown almost sparkle like it's a bunch of stars. And with every step she takes, you can kind of hear a little twinkling of bells from her anklets. And her hair is all put into like a very long and intricate braid, with a small golden like tiara kind of just on her head, very daintily. She has these long jumkas that also look so like bell-shaped earrings that have these small chains that kind of go back behind her and they weave into the braid itself. So there's like little gold chains weaving throughout her braid. And rather than wearing the typical Regency white glove, she's instead has henna that is all the way from staining her fingertips all the way up her elbows in symmetrical floral patterns. And she's kind of fidgeting with her ring a little bit. She's looking a little bit nervous, but she attempts a curtsy and rises back up.
The stairs kind of lead down, and then there's like a middle platform, and then they lead down more. And as they do to the middle platform, your parents both give you a smile and head in front of you and let you just make the rest of the way down as you go. So why does
Can I say that when you're walking by yourself that you hear uproarious applause
I
from the audience once you are walking down? Like if this
not
if
even
this
from the
wasn't-
audience, it's from up behind. You haven't been announced yet.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
from the top
you
of the
hear-
stairs.
right. Like he suppresses the urge to do like a woo or a scream. He like knows that he's read the room. He knows the
my
environment,
God.
but like you hear a clapping that's a little bit more emphatic than other
Okay.
applause.
Kirana, why don't you roll your footwork roll with advantage?
Oh, okay.
So roll the dice twice and give me in
Thank you for that definition.
Yeah.
We got a 3.
A 3? Okay. Yeah.
You roll twice?
What was the other roll?
It was a 1.
Okay. 3 is better in this situation. 3, 4, or 5 is a success. So yeah, as your parents head in front of you and you look up from your curtsy and see all the eyes on you, you look across the ballroom and you make eyes with Queen Regina herself. And she just gives you a small smile and nods, impressed as you make your way down the rest of the stairs.
Kirana's definitely like freaking out a little bit, but she holds her composure and she manages to walk off towards the side and tries to look out for anyone she recognizes and notices Delesio and kind of just slowly kind of inches her way over that way.
Gives you a thumbs up as soon as it gives you like.
Perfect.
She gives a discreet thumbs up back.
Now the next two of you both rolled a 1, but Ark has the higher die, so we will start with Orazio. So next, announcing from the nation of Ilmarmo, the king and queen of the D'Argento family, and you see Malara's family, or parents, go ahead of the two of you. with your dad at the king's like right side and back a couple feet. He doesn't get announced, he just kind of follows along. And there's like a few minute pause, and then you and the princess start to move to the door. Well, are you ready for this?
As ready as I can be.
You're gonna do great. She reaches up and gives you a kiss on your cheek, and as the doors open, and introducing the heir and heiress to the Di Argento family, Princess Melora and Prince Consort Orazio. And as the two of you descend the stairs, what do the two of you look like? I'll let you describe your betrothed as well.
So Princess Melora's dress has this, most of it looks to be almost like powder or ivory white, but there are veins and lines of gold and amethyst and emerald and ruby that are interwoven through it with like very fine silks or very fine threads in between the whole dress as a whole, where Orazio's is this very slate gray, but it has these like dusked lines of smoke and white moving through it, very similar to just flat, pure marble. There are what looks like almost pillar stitching on the legs that come up past the knee from the hem at the bottom, the same pillars up the arms, from the cuff all the way to the shoulders, and the looks like a greyhound of or a hound of some kind in full reach, like arms and legs full out and bound, that's embroidered as well in that same dusk, almost gray stitching right where the pocket is on the front of the coat. And again, just like before, that same pocket watch is attached with the chain leading inside of the jacket.
Okay, perfect. As you descend the stairs, why don't you go ahead and give me that footwork roll?
It's gonna be footwork.
It has to
It's
be
gonna be like,
footwork.
gonna be vigor.
No, you're working your way
It's
down.
cool. I'm good. I got a 4. I'm good.
Okay,
I
cool.
did it.
Yeah.
I'm safe.
There's a loud applause, and there's a lot of like, you hear some whispers. Oh my God, she's marrying her bodyguard? I mean, have you seen him though? Look at him. It's just like, at first, what sounds like scandal, it's like they see the entrance and are impressed, and like, it's very like, well, I guess it made sense. They grew up together, and he's handsome, and he's someone of some rank, and they just like, there's a lot of glances between you and your father up with the king as well.
Oh, he does have one of the what would be considered the finer and ceremonial sabers forged by the Polka family, that, similar to D'Alessio's, has a white cloth tied around the handle to the hilt, showing that it's for appearance.
And as you guys get through the stairs and move off to the side, you see Melora immediately run over to Kirana, and it's like, girl, it's been so long.
Kirana immediately gives her a hug back, and she's like, hi.
I'm so glad you're here already. Hopefully this ball doesn't last too long. This was a long trip.
It definitely was. I'm exhausted.
It really is. Oh, D'Alessio, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going great. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Overwhelming.
I think we still are waiting on Caius, so I'm pretty sure he'll take some of the attention off of us.
I can't wait to see Lucy again. I miss him.
Me too.
Speaking of Caius, is a certain someone also here by any chance?
Ooh, you talking about Gary?
Oh,
I don't
hope
know.
not.
Oh, I heard he's gonna be here. You think he's going to accompany him down the stairs?
I hope not. But
Please
if he
no.
is, I would listen. I've secretly been dying to see this person.
I just don't think I think he can do so much better.
And at
Listen.
that moment,
Hear that
there
from
is
me.
an announcement.
Mm.
from the island nation of Falturia, as I scroll to where I saved this, the Lord Spymaster and Visionary of Secrecy, and heir to the Valentine family, as they introduce your grandfather, and Prince Caius Valentine. And there's a large gasp as they announce that instead of your dad's name.
Oh.
As you and your grandfather enter the room together, what does Caius look like?
Caius is dressed in this exquisite kind of blazer sports coat that is this deep purple color. Inside, he has a lace shirt that isn't unlike the one that I am wearing, but there is this deep prince-like V to it that comes down to about like the center of his chest. And on his chest, which is like moisturized and glistening, you would see all of this really, really beautiful jewelry that he's wearing. It's this very, very kind of like almost gaudy. It's like maybe a little bit, if it was a few sizes bigger, it would get into ostentatious territory, but it's just enough to where it doesn't seem like it's too much. So this shirt has a very high collar, as does the jacket, which go up to right about his chin. He on his face has these decorations that he has had his staff do, and it's this like almost African like in design, these kind of gold placing that he has down his nose, up the side of his face, and he has a nose piercing which is directly connected to an earring which has a massive diamond on it. um and there is this like moment of surrealism to hearing his name announced like that. He didn't want to put the ring on because that made it too real. So I think if he had just heard anybody call him by his new full title, that would have been jarring. But to hear it announced and at the event is mortifying. And so he gives a panicked look to his grandfather, sees that his grandfather is kind of like giving him he has a steely look. His grandpa looks like unaffected and non-verbally is communicating like, keep your chin up, don't, this isn't the time to have a public reaction. So with that, we see like a moment of like straightening up. He's going to straighten his collar, and he today has got his long hair is done into these really, really beautiful dreadlocks. And some of the beads contain not just the family crest and the like colors, the blue and the like white or silver, but there are all of these cool little gems in them that are iridescent. And so when he moves, it kind of casts these like rainbow reflections, almost like a prism that you would hang in the window. And in that moment, after looking at his grandfather and then his eyes returning to the shocked crowd, he decides he wants to own this. And so I would like to have him slay Paige. I don't know what I roll to slay.
Yeah, roll footwork. So roll your dice and let me know what you get.
All right, it's a 1.
Okay. So as you descend with your grandfather, and you look very put together, you look great, everyone is appraising you, but there are some eyes at you, and it gets a little quiet as you guys get to the bottom of the stairs, as you hear whispers start to go through the room as they notice you're not wearing your ring. And it starts to cause a little bit of commotion across the ball. But you quickly see your friend group off to the side and start to make your way over there. But before you get there, Caius, honey, there you are. Dear, I've been looking everywhere for you. As Gary Goop appears at your shoulder in this very dark purple outfit and like this very long tailcoat with like sleeves that kind of hang from the sides. Oh, honey, look at you, look fabulous, and he just like kisses you on each cheek and like grabs your arm. Let's go see everyone else. I have so much to tell you. It's been so you missed our date this morning. It's fine, but
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. And he like kind of like just matrices out of the like grasp from Gary, but he tries to do so in a way that isn't like full on shoving him or being dismissive. That's the thing, Gary. I've got the Burkean flu, you know.
oh no.
I shouldn't really be here. I suddenly felt better. I had to make it. But the thing is, that's why I couldn't face you to tell you that I think, given that we had our date where you talked uninterrupted for 2 hours, I think probably in our proximity to each other, you probably have caught it. So I do have my family's doctor here. I did say when I ran into you that he should check in with you. So I'm sure if you make your rounds, you'll find him, and he can help you. But the symptoms are he looks at like Gary and he's trying to find something to identify, like as he sees that Gary's like fidgeting a little bit, and
Why
he's
don't
like
you
fidgeting.
roll me etiquette as you're lying to this man?
Do we see this
Yeah,
happening?
you guys are like 10 feet away. Gary caught him like right before he got to the group.
It's a one.
Rajkumari, please save him.
Yeah, he looks confused and like he does not fully believe in you. And he's starting to like get visibly upset a little bit, like he's gonna cry.
Oh no! Oh, don't be cry.
Don't be crying.
He says, and he's like
I mean,
taps his shoulder. Oh
you
no!
didn't want to see me this morning. It would have been fine. I just wanted to kind of go over everything before we got here because this is
I
our
know.
first event
Mhm.
together.
Caius,
Oh, So, yeah, I as you just heard, I now have a new expansive set of responsibilities. I really have to be thinking of the nation right now. So, Gary, he is going to feign doing cheek kisses. He's not actually going to make contact. He's going to make a healthy
Mwah,
gap
mwah.
to Gary. And he's gonna give him the like kind of uncomfortable, like I don't know what else to do post hug back pat to him, like too affirming, like okay,
Yeah.
you Christian
um,
side hug him?
yes, 100%. Just like
Let's go.
I
and
shit
then
you
like I
not.
gotta,
I grabbed a d20 just to roll for his morale, and I rolled a nat one.
Man,
Literally, this dude knows he's being sidelined and just like stands up straight, like, okay, I'll talk to you later. And just tries to escape with as much dignity as he can as he marches off to his parents. And also very extravagant, like, purple attire. Very, very bright to the point it, like, burns your eyes a little bit.
there's like a moment where Caius does like a fake reach, like oh no, but he doesn't actually stop him. He just kind of is like,
Oh no.
Oh
No,
no,
stop,
so
wait,
sorry.
come back.
no, please. And then he just is doing the immediate scan for the nearest bar at this thing, and that's when I think he would see his friends, and he heard Orazio, so he's gonna walk over to the group, just like beleaguered. He's only been here for 10 minutes, and he already is exhausted. It looks like he's been here for 2 days.
I've
And
I've
never-
already tried to aid you.
You guys already heard every single thing of that conversation you guys heard. You were close enough
Lucy, I
to
think
hear.
you need a drink.
Did
I've
you
never
guys
seen-
hear any of
I've never seen a man look so much like if you punched him in the face, it would feel both like a solid and a liquid.
that?
It's because he's full of gas.
Mm.
Yeah, it's this. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying, especially fucking now, and this is when the bewilderment like kicks in. I had no idea. He, as he's saying this, is digging in his back pocket. Idea that they were gonna announce that today. My grandpa didn't know. I didn't know, and he takes out the box and pops it open, looking at the ring. I'm gonna say that he makes eye contact with like a Karen looking lady that has like the Karen asymmetrical haircut.
100%.
And she's kind of like looking at him inquisitively, and he like looks at her until she like looks away. And then it takes the ring out, closes the box, and this is like such a stupid little moment of rebellion for him, but knowing he's supposed to put it on his ring finger, he puts it on his middle finger. And for no other reason but to have like a micro victory
Perfect.
to himself.
And
You
there'll be
know,
no roll
so
as you put your ring on. As you put your ring on, the four of you all notice your rings glow at the same time. And everyone in your little group notices it as well. So Malara also notices it. As you guys all kind of gasp, like,
You guys are seeing this too, right? I'm not crazy.
That happened earlier when I put it on.
I'm gonna rip mine off to stop to hopefully stop the glowing.
it doesn't come off.
Oh God, what the
Wait,
fuck?
wait. She
It
starts
could
tugging
be-
at the ring on her finger.
No,
Could be
there's
the lights in the room. There's plenty of glinting, plenty of glamour. There's plenty of other things that could be at play. Could also be a part of the show.
And at
I've
that
been here
point-
before, and there's a parlor. Maybe we could go sit.
Yeah,
At
I
that
Were you gonna
agree
say,
with
Pam?
that.
the horns once again go off. As when I said the queen made eye contact with you earlier, Kirana, it was from the back room. She hadn't made her entrance yet. As everyone drops to a knee around as the doors open, and in a extravagant dress and corset with a super long train in all of the colors of the Valor Knights themselves, in the midst of peridot and halite and amethyst and diamond shades across the whole dress, done in such a way that they complement each other so well, with her long midnight blue hair pinned up in a very high bun, with the crown just sitting on the front, and in the crown on the front of it there's a cross of the four different types of gems, as Queen Regina III makes her entrance. Now entering the ballroom, your royal majesty, the Prism Queen of all of the realms, Queen Regina III. And she just makes her grand entrance, and everyone slowly rises as she gets to the bottom of the stairs, and there's just loud applause everywhere. You may all enjoy yourselves. I will be observing today as we get ready for the festivities ahead. There'll be plenty of food, dancing, and dare I say, love in the air. I will have my eye on all of you to pick my gem of the season at the end of this celebration, as we celebrate our beloved Valor Knights wherever they may be. Enjoy yourselves all. And as she makes her way to her throne, everyone just kind of parts. She kind of just goes straight through the ballroom, through the dance floor, and to her throne, and takes a seat. And with that, the music starts to play. You see some couples start to move out to the dance floor to dance. People start to socialize. Food's being brought out across everywhere. So it's just this massive buffet of food. It's very much like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that, because people have been traveling, and it's just kind of a little ceremony before you all head to bed for the night for the actual festivities. But well, as that happens, what would you guys like to do? You guys are here at a ball. What do you want to do?
Lucy, you said there's a parlor.
Yeah. We should go. He like grimaces at being called Lucy by DLS. He's like,
Kiana kind of
yeah.
looks at him and is like, "Hey, that's my nickname. Can you please not use that?"
And it's already begrudging. I says, and he smiles at Kirana. But yes, there is a parlor, and I happen to know where Paige, who this is the like just royal estate of the queen of like the realms. So little secret passed down from Valentine to Valentine. I actually may know where they have a secret stash of alcohol, if you guys don't mind following me. And he like gestures for them to follow him to the parlor. He's gonna do a little bit. Well, you know what? He's poised. He fights the urge to do the "I don't know you" 10 hands when walking by Gary Goop.
Mhm.
He like just decides to strategically bring the group away to where they won't encounter them, because while he's not interested in Gary, he does respect like the betrothal, and he doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but he also can't outright reject him because of circumstances, and so they are gonna
Yeah,
fucking
as you guys start to
secret
make your
sprawl
way
in there.
around the edge of the floor, there's actually a voice as Malara's mom comes over, like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys found all your friends. I'm gonna borrow my daughter, but I'm sure she'll catch up with all of you soon.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Of course, have fun, all of you."
Good.
Kirana, look at you, dear. You look so beautiful.
Good
You
evening,
haven't been to the
Majesty.
castle in so long.
I will make sure that after these events, I will stop by eventually.
Please do. You know Mel misses you. And she just pats Mel on the cheek. She's like, Mom, stop.
You have to make sure to send her over our way as well.
I will. I will love to. Boys, stay out of trouble.
Of course.
Okay.
You're
And
I
always
give
into
her
some
a
trouble.
playful wink at that.
she just gives a slight laugh and just kind of grabs the crook of her daughter's arm and leads her off. And the four of you make your journey out of the ballroom into a side room off shot of the library, where
Before we go too far, I want to find Lionel real
Mhm.
quick.
Lionel is in a corner with the princess of your nation, and they're already in the cake. Like, their face is already covered.
Just gonna lean down to him. Just, if Dad asks where I am, you have no idea.
What's in it
Brianna
for
kind of does a
me?
little wave over the shoulder.
What do you want?
Ooh. How about you just owe me
Within-
a favor?
Within reason, I will do what you ask me to do.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. Yeah, go have fun with your friends. And you just see him start to giggle and laugh to the princess.
Slight eye
You
roll.
do remember to bow at the last second. You see this little girl does outrank you from your nation.
Yep. Just a very quick, like, right, bow.
This is the equivalent of what the rest of the party is for your nation. This is the person, this little girl.
Yep.
These 13-year-olds are probably the future king and queen of your nation, as Lionel and her have very quickly bonded from a young age.
Yep, quick bow. Look back to the group. Let's go.
I mean, I can just have him arrested if you want, and then you don't have to worry about him talking to anybody.
Don't have to.
Just go around arresting children.
I wouldn't be doing it. The other guards would be doing
And
it.
That's
he's definitely
still-
done something to deserve being arrested, or will do something. It's preemptive, really, but no.
That's
Don't
such a
think you
slippery
can
slope
do
there. He like Caius is going to, while the group is talking, like gesture so that they can like walk and talk as they like
Mhm.
banter and catch up and walk to the parlor room. And I'm gonna say that like within the parlor, on one of the walls, there's this very rich mahogany wood, just gorgeous, gorgeous bookcase. And you would see Caius kind of pulling different books, looking, and you see one and he tries to pull it and it doesn't come out. And so instead, he pushes the book down and the book sinks into the shelf. And as it sinks, the door of the bookshelf kind of slowly opens to this very, very secret wine cellar that he has learned about and that his family has used as a secret meeting place. Double checking and using his like spycraft training to make sure that they haven't been watched. He's going to gesture the group in before kind of closing the door and lighting all of the different candelabras so that they have like light here. And there are a bunch of like really nice chaise lounges and places to sit and etc. You can tell that this place is secret, but it is well kept. It's not dusty. It's just clandestine. And so he gestures to the seats and starts like gesturing for the wine. And he looks over to Orazio. It's still a whiskey guy, right?
As long as it's not anything from the Aramento family, I'm happy.
Okay. He like gives a glance over his shoulder at D'Alessio, and then he looks back to the wines. Perfect. I've got a Chardonnay for Kirana, and he
Thank
hands
you.
over the whole bottle. D'Alessio, remind me of your drink of choice. I know mead in general, but they have a bunch of seemingly imported stuff here. I bet you it tastes disgusting, but you'd probably love it.
I'll just take if there's a mead. I don't care. Just mead. If
Okay.
anything is by the art,
It's the equivalent of what an IPA would be in this world. It's not like a tap mead, but it's the closest you're gonna find here at Angelton.
that's fine.
I like look at the beers. I see that one of them is inexplicably pickled beet flavored. I give like a stifle a chuckle and make an instantly serious face. And I walk over and the whiskey over to Orazio. I'm gonna say that I don't know if we're gonna make tequila a thing in
Yeah,
this universe and at
tequila
this
can be a
time.
thing in this universe.
Perfect. So I've got one of those fucking like expensive ass tequilas with the little dead scorpion at the bottom, and I hand a big old what is it, tankard, whatever you call it, big old
Mhm.
mug
Mhm.
of the pickled beet beer on over to D'Alessio, and I raise a cheers. I'm gonna pop the top off.
Take a quick swig.
Someone, please.
Razio, you toast it up.
To the new heir of the Valentine family,
Uh,
and to the beginning of the Prism Ball.
cheers, friends.
Cheers. Salute.
Cheers.
Take a
There's
sip.
like 3 uninterrupted seconds of like drinking from Caius where you just see his Adam's apple kind of bobbing for a minute. Then he puts it down. He's gonna make his way over to one of the chaise lounges, and now that he's in the company of just people that he's known for like a considerable portion of his life, his body language is a little less like monitored. He's a little bit more kind of relaxed and loose, and so for him, this is a big deal. He kind of puts a leg up on the chaise lounge, which is a demonstration of him. Like it's like in the '90s when a teacher would sit in a chair backwards, like that type of energy.
Yep.
Someone is like
Mhm.
trying to be casual. So yeah, he goes over, he sits down, he has the drink of tequila, and he looks so. I obviously have news to share, but I'd prefer to delay that for as long as possible. So what's new with you lot? He says. And
What the hell is this? Just hold up the tanker.
I'm gonna say Caius does a full spit take at that. Like, just spits tequila out.
God,
Like,
it tastes like your family's reputation. Christ.
Kirana spits out her drink.
God damn it! You have advantage on your next roll for that, Javante. Jesus Christ!
Emotional
Ugh.
damage.
what? I'm so sorry. I thought that isn't the. I thought you liked apricots. It's an apricot beer, right?
No.
Here, let me see it. He is gonna smell it. It smells fine to me. Maybe you're just being picky. I don't
Taste
know.
it. What do you mean it smells fine? Alcohol smells fine to everybody until they drink it.
He puts it to his lips. You see his lips create a fucking watertight seal around the lid of it. He pours it up. Mmm. It's not that bad. I think you're being exaggerative, man. And he's gonna take a swig of his
I
tequila. to
don't
wash the
miss
taste
you. I don't miss you at all.
Oh, it's so nice having everyone back together again.
That reminds me, Raj Kumari, what happened with your brother?
So, my dear old lovely brother decided that he just didn't want to have any responsibility at all. So he decided to just disappear and run off with another couple, just the three of them, and leave his little sister behind to pick up all the pieces and deal with my mother, who is a hurricane of stress and anxiety at the moment.
I'm sorry. Caius is gonna like sit next to Kirana and is like comforting her. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
fucking
Thank you.
sucks. What an idiot. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. And she kind of like rests her head on his shoulder, just like, it's gonna be all right, right?
Mhm.
Kind of asking
Yeah.
hypothetically.
I mean, we leadership material right here on this chaise lounge. Look at us
We're
leading nations. He's
yay, the
a, and
future.
he stares off into the middle distance.
She takes a
Oh,
big swig of her wine.
well, at least we can qualm some of it. At least between the four of us, we can make very positive political statements.
That is true. I
I like
mean,
the positive take.
all four of us know each other, and that has to lend itself to good international relationships. And he's much more pointed as he says the international part, as he looks at Erasio and Dialessio. So I'm certain that the four of us knowing each other and being so familiar will lend itself to, like you said, Erasio, a new chapter. I like that. There's a new chapter for the Valentine family, a new chapter for all of us.
I mean, I can't speak much for the Polka family, but I guess they had to elect somebody.
Well, we had to make up for lost time and, also have to counterbalance when they elect someone like you, gestures over to Horatio.
Rizio takes another drink.
I'm like
Caius looks at
sipping. I'm
Kirana.
sipping at this point. Like it's to the point where it's like, well, now I have to drink it, and it's growing on me, which I don't like.
Kirana kind of just looks at the both of them, kind of like, ladies, you're both beautiful. Now, are we done here? Are you good?
Oh, we're fine. As far as everybody else is considered, we're going to be at each other's throats.
As
Oh,
far as certain books are
goodness.
considered, we're going to takes another sip.
I've already spoken with Melora about it. We want to increase the actual relevancy and notoriety of the Polka family. None of the other nations' armorers would even light a torch or spark compared to everything that your family's provided. We want to bring a little bit more light to it.
Okay, see, olive branch.
I may be in the minority, but as far as my dad is concerned, rivalry is still going. As far as I'm concerned,
He can fight with my dad. I don't care.
exactly.
This is us.
As far as I'm concerned, whenever I eventually take over, I do want to increase production for the Argento family. If the military might has to be anything, it has to be to the people that actually make up the military might.
And we can ensure safe travels for those sharing information between the kingdoms. And he motions towards Caius and ensure that the merchants themselves are able to ensure all of their roads and all of their ways of travel are safe.
And with me being uninvolved with prior, it looks over to Caius as well, with prior things, it should make for strong positions for our families.
You would think so, right? Caius says. I had a similar train of thought. It's interesting you say that. Caius digs and pulls out the envelope from earlier, which has the wax seal on it, which has the is it Olowin? It has the like seal of Olowin on it. He has the envelope in two fingers and he is going to throw it over to DLSEO. And what the letter contains is information about somebody from Olowin who has been playing not even just like both sides of the fence, right? Like has been playing like 4D chess with the fence, has gone subterranean, is like really, really played the Valentine family, but somehow has managed to remain anonymous. We only know this person, and this would all be in the document that Caius has thrown you, as the Crimson Hood. It's the only information we have about him. Nobody knows who this person is. If it is a male presenting person, a female presenting person, we just know that they are the catalyst. All of that would be in the information that he throws you, and he throws that to you. He waits until he sees your eyes movement stop, then that you've read it, and he goes, "Any that seem familiar to you?"
Do it?
Yeah, it's a lot of information on a lot of your family's blacksmith secrets. a lot of the dealings of your dad's network and of trying to move up within your nation, and even a lot of dirt on the king and queen itself too, as well, of your nation. And it's just showing where this information's been sent, some of the contests this person has had, and etc.
Scarily accurate. No
Yeah, it's
idea
almost like
no idea who
they
did
are
this.
very close to you. Whoever wrote this seemingly has. And Caius, having received the briefs since he was like old enough to go to them, his older brother stopped attending them. But Caius was hoping to have the position that he had. He's the kind of person that has like a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan and etc. And his fucking 10-year plan just got microwaved, right? So all of this is coming up very, very, very quickly. So he has some preparation for this. He's not completely like caught flat-footed by it. And in his briefings, he has confirmed the information that is in this. And he was watching DLSEO to see if DLSEO would confirm it, if he would say that the information was correct, which Caius knows it to be, or if he would try to feign elsewise and tell a little bit of a white fib. So there's a little moment of like affirmation in seeing DLSEO tell the truth about it without having to be pressed about it. And so after that, he says, "It looks like you have a leaky ship."
There's just like a moment where he's reading through again, thinks for a second, sets it down, takes another sip of the drink, and just, did you, Caius, little brother? I know. This is now very serious. I know for a fact you did not just microanalyze me.
I wouldn't put micro in front of that. I felt like it was fairly surface level, but sure. I mean, if you want to use that language, we can describe it as such.
I have no idea who wrote this. It's accurate. I assume you will figure that part out, but it's accurate. And if we have a sib in our village, it's going to be on my priority to figure out who it is that's doing the leaking. You could also have just asked me.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't.
All right.
Where's the fun? Where's the drama in that?
We're
He
part
points
of
to
why.
Karina when Karina says that.
Part of why we are in this situation, little sister, is because of drama. I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can, although I do so enjoy our letters.
Yeah, this is the build up to the letters. We have to have this so that way we can have something to talk about. You don't want me writing about, oh my gosh, the grass grew again and then it got cut again, right?
Fair enough.
At this
I
moment,
just,
as you guys are talking about drama in general, there is screams coming from the main ballroom.
I feel like that's a cue.
Orazio's on his feet and already going towards the door.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Caius and Karina are just like reluctantly on the couch. Like they don't have the same urgency at all. Like,
The two of you
right.
rush out, and Kirana and Caius catch up. And as you guys get to the doors, your bodies lock up and start to move on your own. As all the gems on your ring start to glow, your fist shoots forward, comes up to your chest like this, and then you all either bow or curtsy as these gems glow. And Javante, do you want to say something for me?
Yep, one moment. Yeah, and as soon as my fist connects, it's almost like it's like punched the air out of my lungs. It just, nobility and honor. The grid protects. It's morphing time.
And with that, as our Rangers start to form into the Valor Knights and enter the ballroom where something is going on, is where we are going to end our first episode.
Yay.
Thanks everyone for being here for the first episode of Rangers of the Ton, and we will kick off with some combat next time, which I will be mixing in some stuff from the Rangers TTRPG system as well that I'll be sending all of you in the next week for the fight. But with that, why don't we go around? Tell everyone again where they can find you, and if there's anything you guys want to plug, you may do so. And we'll go in reverse order this time. So, Serini, why don't you start it off?
Okay, well, hello again. I'm Serenity Cup on all of my socials. I know it's a fun username. But yeah, I do all the fun cosplay stuff. I do a lot of K-pop dance covers. I teach Bollywood dance. I'm kind of all over the place, and this is my first time doing something like this, and I'm so excited to be a part of this project with you guys. And I'm glad that all of you fellow audience member people are here to join me for this journey. So, yeah, Serenity Cup, check me out. I do stuff and things.
Perfect. Let's move it over to Art.
Hello, everyone. I am Ark or Arclight Court. You can find me all over the internet at Arclight Court. Tomorrow, I'll be streaming making more Power Rangers, more villains, more things of that nature for the Morphin Multiverse series that I have going on my channel on alternating Mondays. But super important, super awesome to talk about is this Monday coming up. We have Chapter 1, the first episode of the Heritage Collection, featuring two people who are here involved with this. So if you enjoyed the company of everyone involved, you will definitely enjoy it. Is a TTRPG using the Monster of the Week system, the Powered by the Apocalypse system, that takes place in Gotham City, where Bruce Wayne and both Batman have been missing for the last 3 weeks. And a team of vigilantes is now working alongside the Bat family to help keep Gotham safe while that is occurring. But yeah, you can find me all over the internet at Arclight Court. The best way to keep up to date with me and all the things I'm doing is, of course, Instagram or Threads at Arclight Court.
Perfect. Aetherius.
Hi, everybody. My name is Aetherius Bordeaux. I'm known on the internet as @VampireHimbo. You can find me on Instagram and Threads @VampireHimbo or @VampireHimbo. I think Blue Sky as well. And then on Twitch, it is Vampire_Himbo. I had an amazing time. I really feel like these characters already have such great chemistry and like to have such a strong start. Really excites me for the stories and the plot developments and twists and all of the drama to come. You can catch me as Phineas Revelborn in the international smash hit TTRPG sensation Castleton. Phineas is an in-universe morning show host. So for the universe of Castleton, which is a massive 120 plus person D&D project that's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons and Game of Thrones and Hunger Games and Bridgerton, like all kind of mixed in one. So I'm in that. You can also find me over on Ain't Got Crit for the Crit Award winning Philly by Night, where I played the fabulous Jean-Pierre Baptiste. And then very excitingly, and this isn't going to come out probably for some bits, but I have been working since, oh my gosh, I want to say May or June of last year. I've been steadily recording an audio series. It takes place in the late 80s, early 90s. It is very like X-Files, Monster of the Week kind of conspiracy meets Buffy, the Scooby Gang, Supernatural kind of like it's very fun. I get to play a pirate radio show host on that, someone who runs a pirate radio show out of an abandoned fire tower in the woods, which is amazing. So that is going to be coming out. I cannot wait for it. That project. If you like the comic book Nailbiter, if you've ever heard of it, it's very Nailbiter coded. It is very good. Lots of interesting questions, a really interesting kind of mythology for the town that we're in that we're slowly unraveling episode by episode. But yeah, that is it for me. I'm a main cast member over at Roll D5, and you can catch me doing a bunch of Black History stuff, month stuff with them for the coming weeks. I think I'm doing something like once a week with them, so you can see me over there.
Great. And of course, Javante.
Hi, everybody. I'm very busy this coming few weeks. So, normally speaking, you can catch me over on my Twitch on twitch.tv/Eclipse613, where I'm DM Set Sail at One Piece D&D 5e Adventure. We'll normally be doing that tomorrow, except we're taking a break. You can also catch me next Thursday, where I'm running a Somnus Domina game set in the world of Somnus Domina with Arclight Court, as well as a couple others, which is great. Black History Month is coming up, and I'm once again partnering up with Apochromatic Games in order to run Gotham by Grassland, which is my Elseworlds version of Gotham City. where Gotham was placed in Nigeria. I'm very, very excited and happy to run that game as well. I absolutely love the crew. I'm super excited to show you all this world. Other stuff that I am doing. Hi, I mentioned I was working on a TTRPG. I'm actually at the level where I can start talking about it more. Act of Sodom is slowly getting ready to be kind of released to the world. Do you like Witchblade? Do you like The Darkness? And do you like Angelus? Do you like Cyberpunk? That's the world of Act of Sodom, a cyberpunkian realm where you play as characters who are infested with demon nanites and unleash their power to fight against a world that despises you. I cannot wait to show you all that world that I've cooked up using the story path system that has recently come into the world as a whole. Other stuff that I'm doing every now and again, I just stream random games on Twitch with WWE 2K25 coming out. It's probably going to be a few of those games.
The way that I'm about to muscle myself into some tables with you all after this evening.
And of course, I am Paige, aka Pluto's Cleric, all over the internet, except for here in
Let's give
YouTube,
it up
where
for
it
Paige.
is Pluto's
Yeah.
Underworld. Thank you.
Heck yeah!
I am a lesbian trans woman on a quest to run every game in the known universe. Other projects I got going on right now. On Friday of this week at 9 p.m. Central, we're running the first of the Pluto's Plays one-shots for charity. We'll be raising money for the Trans Lifeline and my gender affirming surgery fund because that shit's expensive.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, that might just be general transition stuff in general because the world's scary right now, but we don't need to talk about that. So that'll be at 9 p.m. Central on Friday. We are going to be playing Honey Heist for the first one shot, which should be really fun. Beyond that, I am playing Captain Anira Bennett / Lady Anira Oasis over on Castleton as well. And then, of course, as both Ark and Javante mentioned, I will be on both of their channels next week, either as a vigilante or a pirate. One or the other. I'm actually 2 pirate characters I'm playing right now, actually, now that I think about it. What the fuck?
You have
Okay.
a branding.
Apparently. That's fine. But yeah, with everything else, there's some other things on the horizon. There's the God Killer series is going to be continuing. We've been recording for that, so the second episode of that will air in February, as well as the first episode of our X-Men game that's going to be coming out. So tune in for all the fun stuff on the socials, and we will see you guys next week for our first Valor Knight battle. It'll be great.
I'm excited to morph. That's
Hell yeah.
You
I
hear
have
the
my
actors
magical
talk
girl
about putting on the
transformation.
palette, putting on the helmet. I'm like, holy shit.
It's gonna be great.
This is going to be a thing.
But yeah, we will see you guys later. Have a good night.
Night.